Hello everybody, it is your friendly neighborhood INFP and welcome back to another video, and today we are going to be looking at just why each MBTI type is single. Starting off with the ENTJ. You guys are probably going towards your goals, dreams, passions, whatever. You've got your plans going out, you've got your things you need to go towards. You don't have time to slow down for a relationship. Yes, at some point you will get into a relationship, but that can come at any time. What matters first is going towards whatever goal it is you are achieving to conquer. That is why you are single as an ENTJ. Also, the arrogance and all that might not help either. But continuing on, INFP, it's the potentially overly high standards and obliviousness to those who are actually interested in you that keeps you single, because your dreams and ideals tend to not match reality, and even when you are paying attention to reality, you're completely oblivious to the person next to you. It also doesn't help that you may or may not have serious questions of self-doubt that makes you question whether or not somebody likes you to the extent of them moving on before, anything happens. Moving on, INTPs, Maybe if you left your room every once in a while and went out and explored with some other people and got yourself into like a proper dating game, or even went to, some proper conventions every now and then, which I know some of you INTPs do, you'd likely meet somebody. But seeing as it is, your sometimes social awkwardness breaks apart the ability for you to perhaps attain someone. Also, the whole being a homebody and hardly ever leaving the house for anything other than things that you need or want to get. INTJ, the reason why you're single is because you are too busy plotting and scheming and going towards your goals, a little bit like the ENTJ, but unlike the ENTJ, you're too busy doing it your own way. You're too busy either being at home or being locked up or being too engrossed in a subject or passion that you're going towards, that the other people around you seem to fade away. They don't exist anymore for the time being. Plus, like the ENTJ, you can always go and find somebody later, but right now these plans and these schemes and all of this stuff may go into the bit as to why you're single as an INTJ. ENTP, the reason why you're single, aside from, going from place to place and making jokes with a bunch of people, throwing in some debates here and there, causing mayhem at certain points, the reason why you would likely be single is probably due to your mercurial nature and the inability to decide on one partner over the other. You like to end up with somebody, but there are so many options. Which one shall you choose? You have no idea. Might as well try as many as you can. Or maybe you'll just work on your gaming or whatever else it is that you do that keeps you preoccupied than going chasing after somebody. ENFP, the reason why you're single, a little bit similar to the ENTP, mercurial in nature, a little chaotic, a little fickle, too many options, and part of it also comes to a fear of commitment, a fear of slowing down and smelling the flowers once in a while, and just having that sweet one-on-one relationship, because why just have a one-on-one relationship when you can have a multitude of friends that you go out with and do things with, and let's go to that place, and those distractions are probably what could keep you single. ESFP, you're too busy partying and hooking up with every single second person that you meet that you haven't been able to form a proper connection with the person who actually wants to form a connection with you. Too busy having that fun, too busy hanging out with the friends, too busy doing all that social stuff, too busy pleasing the senses that you won't slow down and pay attention to the person who may or may not be trying to get your attention. ESTP, you're amazing, you're out there, you're a little bit like the ESFP, you're jumping on from one place to the other, pleasing the senses, doing your tasks, exploring the world, taking charge. which also leads to not being able to find someone some of the time that is able to do a lot of the activities that you enjoy, which can include extreme sports or any adrenaline based subject, though that's not necessarily what you need. But to find that person that appreciates you for the things you enjoy to do, that might take a little bit more time. INFJ. The reason why you're single is you're so emotionally detached from everybody despite being emotionally attached to everybody that you remain emotionally unavailable from the person you want to be with, even though you're emotionally available to nearly everybody else except yourself, leaving you detached from the rest of the world, which then leaves you to be single. Did you get it? Yeah, I'm not repeating that. Moving on. ISTJ, you're too busy fulfilling your tasks, your duties, your loyalty, the things that you know need to get done. Should somebody come to you and get you, then that's fine. But if not, that's fine too. You have a duty to perform and you'll do whatever it takes to perform that duty. Whether or not you hook up with anyone is none of your business, except for the time when it is your business, in which case you then may actually go and hook up with somebody. ESTJ, reason why you're single is perhaps a little bit of bossiness, a little bit of arrogance, a little bit of the ENTJs going towards your goals and managing people and going towards the business ideals. You don't have time to stop for a relationship, at least not yet. Not until you're financially stable. You know you can support a family. You know you've got the people around you that you can help in your own little way that you love. Until you get to that point, you're not necessarily looking for a relationship. ISFJ, the reason why you're single is because either due to shyness or being the type of person that everybody believes already has somebody, or a multitude of other things of being with so many other people that maybe you just got forgotten in the crowd and people just seem to believe, because you make it appear that you have at least some semblance of your life together, that surely this person is with somebody when you're actually not. Yeah, that makes sense to me. ESFJ, you're a little too much of a mom friend, the friend of the group, the friend of the person who wants to date you, the person who wants to take care of everybody and make sure everything's going all right. You also may have the certain standards and expectations of society as to who you should and should not date, which is keeping you single because the people you are meeting are not necessarily the people you should or should not date. Either that, or you go for the so-called bad boys, in which you believe, oh, sure, but I can totally reform them. I have it in me to do so. Oh, I suppose this would also work for bad girls too. But continuing on, ISTP, too much of the craftsman, too much in your own little workshop, too much in your own little woods, doing your own little thing, being too cool for everybody, being that so-called bad boy while also not being a bad boy because you actually care about other people, but you don't know how to act, so you do things in your own stoic kind of way, never showing any expression, and then making people have the wrong impression of you, which then causes them to necessarily want to date you, but also date you at the same time. Plus, you may also look so cool that some people may think you're already with somebody else. Either that, or he shows no sign of reciprocating the affection given to you, that they simply think you're not interested, thus leaving you single. ENFJ, the reason why you're single, a little bit like the ESFJ, you're too emotionally available to everybody else except for that one person who actually wants your emotional availability. Also, the obliviousness to a person's desire to date you is also one of those common trends of you helping so many other people to such an extent that when an actual person flirts with you, you're not actually sure whether or not it's just them saying thank you or whether or not it's them actually being interested in you. But that doesn't matter. There are so many people around you, so many things you need to do, so many social attachments you've got to keep that you can't spend time focusing on just one person. Although you often spend time focusing on just one person. If that makes sense. ISFP, maybe if you weren't so busy saving the world or painting all those pictures, you'd actually slow down and date somebody who actually cares about you. Also, it may have something to do with another side of shyness and high standards that others misinterpret. Usually sticking to yourself and doing the things you enjoy and, helping others in the way that you help others, or just going about your own life, is the reason why you are single. With that being it, most of this was out of fun and not entirely accurate, although there is some truth to it. But with that being said, I will see you guys tomorrow. Bye-bye.